Hi, today we are going to record our screen and the computer audio using a software called OBS. So this is a beginner's tutorial, so we are barely going to scratch the surface. I'm going to make sure you download and install OBS and then set it up for screen recording and also recording audio in your computer. So stick around. So OBS, or Open Broadcasting Software, is a very powerful software which I usually use to record most of my videos, and it's free and open source. So this is a quick guide. So if you want a detailed video on all the features, you can put that in the comment region and I'll make a video about it. So the first thing is to download OBS into our computer. I'm using a Windows PC. I'm on Windows 11. This link, I'll put it in the description box, but this is the official site for OBS. So I'm going to click on Windows. And we are going to get our setup in our computer. So depending with the speed of your internet, it might take a while. We are now done downloading. But right away, click on open so that you can install OBS. And you're going to follow the prompts to proceed to installing it in your system. So you click next, and the destination, I want it in my C drive, so I click on install. We are now done installing OBS in our system. So right now we are going to open it up. So I type on OBS and then hit on OK. This is the interface. We have the scene, then we have the sources. Basically, a scene is a composition of different sources put together into one scene. For example, you can put your microphone, your screen recording, or maybe a webcam into scene 1, and then you have a scene 2 for something else, like you have maybe a gameplay playing in a different screen which is connected to the same computer. You can decide to put it in scene 2, and then you can be crossfading between the two. For a start, you'll have your screen like this, which means we don't have anything being captured. So we are going to set it up so that at least we get our desktop into now this screen in OBS. So the fastest way to set up your OBS is clicking on Tools, then Auto Configuration Wizard, and then you're going to get this prompt. So be using my computer both for streaming and recording. If you want to just optimize for recording, you can click on this one. Or if you just want to use it for virtual camera, that is, for example, you have a screen and you want to use it in your virtual calls like Zoom, you can use OBS. So I think we will do that in the future. I'm not sure, but I'll see whether I'll be able to do that for you. Today we are going to optimize it for streaming and recording. I might not be streaming anytime soon, and I'm planning to also make a video about streaming, so we'll just leave that out. So today we're just focusing on recording our screen. We'll click on next. The resolution of the screen that you're going to use on OBS will be sufficient. So for me, mine is a full HD, so I just click on that one, and then the FPS. If you're recording mostly your screen, you don't need to use 60. Mostly the best will be 30. You'll get the quality that you want and everything else. But if, for example, you want to record something like a game, which means there's so much action on your screen, then to be safe, just use 60. Click on next and then apply settings. So right away you don't see anything because we've not composed our sources. Although you can see our audio mixer here can pick our microphone. So we have this scene, although we can rename it to whichever way we want. We are not going to focus on it. We are going to focus on the sources because we want to instruct our OBS where to get the audio and the video. So you go down here and click on this button. This is add, and you can pick whichever source you want, but in our case, because we are recording our screen, go directly and click on display capture, and then you can decide to give it a name. So in my case, I want to leave it as default. I click on OK, and as you can see, we now have our desktop here. It's mirroring into infinity. So our capture method, so for now just leave it to automatic, and then remember we chose our resolution to this one. If your monitor has other resolutions, then you can just choose the one that's best for you. And you might decide to either capture the cursor or just leave it. So in my case, because mostly I usually use to make tutorials, so it's good to leave the cursor on so that at least people can follow what I'm doing on the screen. So I click on OK, and now you can see we've added our display capture, which is our desktop. So the next thing concerning display might be, for example, you want to add your webcam, or maybe you've connected your camera and you want also to appear in this scene. So you can go ahead and click on display capture device, and when you click on OK, this is what you're going to get. Yeah, so this is my webcam, which is totally garbage. Maybe I'll get a camera in the future. Soon, actually. I have maybe one on the way. So we have so many things you can change here. Maybe you might have several cameras and you want to change between them. You can decide to activate, configure the video. There's a lot you can do with this window now. So once you click OK, you have your window with a camera here, and then it's very easy for you to resize and place it anywhere you want within the scene. So right now we have our desktop running, and also we have our webcam, which is a video capture device running. What we don't have right now is the audio. So we're going to add audio right now, and then later on we are going to remove one of the device, and that way you learn how to add and remove. By now you know how to add, but you don't know how to remove. That way we are going to do. Let's first add our audio. So you click on add again, and then this time we want to capture audio. So you click on this first option, which is audio input capture, and then you might decide to name it however you want, but in my case I just want to leave it. So you click on OK, and you have this dialog which will help you choose your microphone. Maybe you might have several microphones, and the one that you want to dedicate to OBS might be listed. So you just click on OK. I don't have any attached, so I'll just use the inbuilt one. By clicking on that, you click on OK, and now we have our audio capture, so our input, and you can see now it's indicating. So if we hit on start recording, by default we are now going to record me there. We are going to record the screen of my laptop, and then you're going to get audio from the microphone. I'm not using this microphone directly. I'm recording the audio using a different channel, and then I'll synchronize with a video here when I'm editing. Mostly I use DaVinci 2018. So basically that's exactly what you're supposed to do to record something in your computer. But in case maybe you want to change something, maybe you want to change the resolution or the frame rate or something else, you can go to file and then go to settings. This is where you're going to get majority of the settings that you need to maybe tweak here and there. For the general, you have our test. We are going to see that in the future in case you're interested. If you're not interested, then you are going to move to the next video. You can change the stream settings, like if you want to connect to YouTube or other streaming sites. You might decide to change the output, which I encourage people to do, because for example here you can change the location of your recording path. So this is where now after recording you'll go and find your videos. By default it usually record this to video, to this folder videos, so you're going to get them here, but I usually prefer them in one place so that I'll get to organize my media well. And then you can decide to change your recording quality to high quality. This will now depend with your machine. If you're using a powerful machine, you can go to the highest possible quality, but if you're not interested in those, or if your system is not as powerful, you can decide to lower the quality a little bit for it to handle the recording. And then we have the recording format. I usually encourage people to use MKV, but in my case I usually use MP4 because I don't want to go an extra step of converting MKV to MP4 for me to be able to edit that in Adobe Premiere. But since I moved to DaVinci, so I can be able to record in MKV and edit that as if it was an MP4. So basically what the advantage we have on MKV over MP4 is, suppose for example you are using a desktop and then power goes, it means that your computer will go off if you don't have a UPS, and you're going to definitely lose the whole of your recording if you are recording in MP4. But if you are recording in MKV, you can go back to OBS, then click on File and then Remax your recording, and then you navigate to your file, which is now the MKV, and then you can be able to remax that, and you're going to get a good recording out of the whole thing. If you are recording something you're not planning to lose, the MKV is the way to go. So pretty much, unless maybe you want to configure your hotkeys, like you don't want to make so many clicks for you to start recording, you can decide to put your hotkeys here. These are the shortcut. You can put as many as you want, so long as you'll be able to remember them. Maybe you can decide to change a little bit of the video quality, and especially if you're planning to change on the FPS. I like recording everything in 30 because I don't have so much motion on my recordings, so I just leave it at 30. And because you are done, you can just click on OK and hit on start recording. As simple as that. You don't need so much. You just need to configure all those and then you proceed. If you want to remove something from the scene, for example, I want to remove my video capture, you just highlight what you want to remove and then you click on this remove option here. You just click on and then it disappears. So you're now left with the audio input and then the display capture. So this is the audio mixer. You can decide to maybe reduce the gain, add the gain. You can also configure your desktop. You can also configure your audio using this icon here. So we are not interested now. The only thing I'm interested now is capturing my microphone and my screen. Then we have scene transition. If you have more than one scene, then you can decide to maybe put a transition here, the duration, and also you can use many other controls to make maybe your scene look better and more organic. Here on controls, you have the first option is start streaming. The first thing is you set up your OBS for streaming, and then once you hit on start streaming, then by default it should. Then we have start recording, virtual camera. That's if you want to start your virtual camera, it will just appear from your webcam. Studio mode, this is where you can be able to edit, for example, something. Although we'll do this in the future. You have a scene with several things here. Then we can set it up first before now transitioning it to the live one. And this is very useful when you are streaming. You need to set up your scene first before streaming it. And you have the settings. You can use this, or you can just use file and then go to the settings. And then you can decide to exit. In my case, I'm not planning to exit. So in this case, we are going to make a recording. I click on start recording, and you can see we are now recording. So the problem we have here is the microphones from my laptop are very terrible, so they might not sound as good, but you'll use it for demonstration. We are now recording. Maybe I want to show you how to, for example, do something, and maybe this is our website I'm showcasing. I can decide to maybe do that, and because we have a playground here, you can use this website. I don't want to use my desktop. It has some things I want to avoid. Yeah, so like you can see, we have Logitech, Twitch, Facebook, blah 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 blah, diamonds, blah blah. I have all these things here, and now we can go back to our OBS. We can decide to stop recording, or if you decided to put a shortcut key for that, then you can use a combination of the keys that you set up to stop the recording. So once I click on start recording, we are now not recording anything, so it will give you this notification here, recording saved to, and then it will give you the path. So if you want to go there, you can click on file and then show recordings. So this is the one that we recorded, and if we play recording, and we are not recording. The problem we have here, we go out to, for example, do something. I have all these things here. So that's the video. It's an MKV. I'm glad that I'm using DaVinci because you can be able to edit MKV directly from the source. I don't need to convert it to MP4 for me to edit the video. So that was a quick one, a quick guide, and if you're interested in setting up your OBS for streaming, then we are going to do that right alone in a video in the future. So stay subscribed and put the notification bell on so that you don't miss that. Remember, I'm going to make a detailed video if you demand that.